Hello, friends. New hair, who it is? This thing, I'm watching myself on my phone. It's gotta go, otherwise I'll be staring at myself the whole time. Recently, I asked you humans whether you wanted me to assess your photography on your Instagram. I'm gonna be critiquing some people's Instagrams. So if you would like me to look at your Instagram, I would like to see your handle, and I would like to see one line as to why you need help. It is time now to critique. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what you create and if I can help. This is my photography in case you're new to this channel and you don't know who I am. I take all of my photos by myself, and today I will give my insights from a photographer that is self-taught. So take it with a grain of salt. This is the photo with 940 comments. I love it! I'm just gonna start scrolling randomly until I come across a couple that might seem like you guys need my help. Basically the most desperate person. Eastbound Photography. Hey Sorrel, would you critique my Insta? It might not be your style, but I would love to if you checked it out. Girl. So obviously you focus on the finer details of things. Oh, I'm quite intrigued. Oh, I love this one. Wow, cool. How you get into the macro is really unreal. The doggy photos. Okay, so I, as a marketer, I'm just gonna scroll through and see how each posts compared to one another. And if you have a trend of what people love seeing more than otherwise. So the zoom in is actually something that people love the most. Frozen thing is getting the most attention. 34 likes out of how many followers do you have? 123. So that's a good conversion. That is great engagement. Photography wise, I love what you're doing, but then you also want to see what people are falling in love with a lot. And it seems that people love unexpected and slightly different takes on what is normal. The reason people fall in love with specific photographers is for the wow factor. It is always something different and unique that they don't get to see very often. And right now we get to see a lot of these things in real life, and it is up to the photographer to help people see something that they haven't seen before. And I don't see enough of that on your feed right now. This is why drone photography, for example, is so popular, because people don't often get to see photographs from up above. And yes, there are a lot of repeats these days, but that's why the effectiveness of drone photography has lowered now, because people see the same things over and over again until someone comes along and shows them a drone photo that is something that they don't get to see very often. But it's a perspective difference or an editing difference or something that is like, oh my God. Otherwise, the technique behind your photography is pretty good. It's just developing your style and your editing style now. Rolling randomly. Anna's Creative World. Sorrel, check out my Instagram profile because I feel a bit stuck and I would love if an expert like you would have some feedback. So what do? You're a Capricorn. Hell yeah. Major business and administration, sushi creating. All right. Obviously you like knitting a lot. And this is a very strange market that I would never have thought of before. You don't even mention that you're obsessed with knitting when it's on every single second post. Just go for it. Obviously this is a huge passion of yours, so why don't you just start helping people to become expert knitters instead of people coming to your page and being like, okay, I'm a creative making dreams reality, and then you just have knit everywhere. If you don't feel you're good enough, you're better than me. That's all you really need to know. You're better than me. You could definitely teach me stuff when it comes to knitting because I don't know anything. So you're taking the skills that you know and teaching a brand new person. That means you know something. The photos of you with photography, the thing that always works is when you shock people or you show them something differently, just like I mentioned before. All of us have seen this. We have seen people lying down and reading their notes. It's not really anything unique. If you took a photo top down, spread with all your notes everywhere in a beautiful pose, or, oh, this would be a lot of work, but this is how you stand out in photography. You take a desk into the middle of the forest and stack books and books either side. You got yourself something special. It's something that people can't really look past. It's a little bit more set up, but it's gonna stand out so much more than just a book and you reading a book. It's a beautiful portrait. I think the editing needs to be a little bit stronger because right now it just looks like it's a photo without extra editing, and personal opinion, the photography is about 50%, 60%. The editing is 40%. So if you're not fully capitalizing on the beautiful tools that we have of editing, you're missing out so much on elevating an image from an image into art. This is fun. And I really love that I'm not critiquing Advanced Selfies right now, I have to say. I have spent my life for the last 2 years talking about Advanced Selfie. Breaking out of that is really nice right now. Saw your story, girl, and I would like to check out my Insta with everyone showing amazing styles and having great flows in their photos. And I just feel like mine are missing like a bit of tips and tricks. I don't know what you mean. Valencia, 19-year-old, international creative business developer student that loves the world, making photos and creating random art. Wow. All right. Your style is everything right now. You're 19, so you haven't quite figured out what your style is as of yet. No one follows people that do everything. You cannot be an everything person, and I know that kind of sucks. Eventually you can be. Sort of. If I started posting landscape photos, it would kill my profile because that's not what people expect from me. It's Fatik. I love his work. If he started taking landscape photos, people would freak out. They're there for a very specific reason. Weird portraits of females. Weird, twisted, strange, slightly sexy, but slightly twisted. That's what they're there for. Amazing editing. People go to specific people for certain things. So right now you are everything, and there's no link between any of your photos. There's walls, there's graffiti, there's flowers, close-up flowers, birds. It's just a little bit much. So if you're looking to increase your followers, right now what you're doing is documenting your life. It is so okay. That is completely fine. Oh, I just realized that I've been commenting more on how to get people to follow you instead of the photography itself. But you did ask about flow. Maybe that's where I was getting it from. Allow my train of thought to go wherever it needs to. I'm not gonna stop myself because otherwise I'll restrict what I wanna say. What I can say in terms of photography specifically, there is no defining style. And I think I find this with most people. This is why presets are so important. I use these constantly on repeat. I'm obsessed with a specific preset out of my hipster AF preset pack. I'll do a whole bunch so it looks like it's flowing, and you can come to my page and you see a style. It's dark, it's moody, it's punchy, it's very dark, it's dark, it's dark. These photos very often that I see always feel like they are unfinished because there is no specific editing. And again, the wow factor is missing. Everyone has a mobile phone these days. Everyone is a photographer these days. Photographer. If you want your photography to stand out for more your memories or for people to love or people to follow you, you need to wow them with something different, whether it's capturing street art and capturing a moment in time that just was fleeting, people's eyes, people's expressions, an amazing background of where you are. You're in Valencia. Girl, there would be so much that you could do. One more, and I want to do a dude. MJ of none. Jack of all trades, master of none. I see what you're doing here. You need to become a master of a trade. As I've previously touched on, I think people can be really traumatized if they get photos with a photographer that doesn't know what they're doing and can't bring out the best in them. It really hurts them. So people are very wary of choosing specific photographers. So you need to become a master of your trade, and that's when more people will trust you to take photos with you. I love what you're trying to do with this holy festival. It's very unique. I don't often see something like this. Shot at nighttime. It's catching people in the moment where the paint is getting thrown at them. So I quite like that. What you need to do though is make sure that everything is in focus. And I really would love to see when the powder is getting thrown at people that it's frozen in time. So a faster shutter speed would have been really interesting. I know you're shooting at nighttime, so that would have been a little bit harder. Play around with the lighting and try to figure out how you can do faster shutter speed to make sure that you freeze those thingies. It freezes it. Another thing I never want to see again, and I've said this so many times, is I don't want to see photos that are not 4x5. You are not commanding attention with this, because here I can already see there's another post. People are so, their attention span is so short. If they see there's another photo below, they're gonna start scrolling and just miss that one without liking it. And you want to get people's attention straight up and say, hey, y'all need to look at my photo, you need to give it attention. I'm not gonna double like it because it's not a 4x5, but from now on, I would love for you to do a 4x5, please. Then I keep scrolling down and you have drawing, which is interesting, but again, you said that you want to become a portrait photographer, but there's drawing involved. It's nice, it breaks it up a little bit, but if you want to get really good at something, you got to just keep pumping out the same content so people know what to expect from you. And then I keep scrolling down and you have branches. They need to go. I see what you're trying to do in an artistic take on photography. Their face is too far in the distance. It's not the focus of the whole photo. It's not really telling a story except for, hey, I'm standing here getting a photo taken and the foreground is taking all the attention because this is white and really bright and your subject is moving away into the shadows. It's not drawing the attention to the right thing in the frame. Yeah. Thank you very much everyone that submitted their photos for critiquing and a review from me. I am very grateful that you trust me to do this and give you some feedback on this. I hope this was helpful. It gave elements of how you can improve photography wise, setting up your profile wise a little bit. I might do another one in the future just when it comes to setting up your Instagram in a business kind of way to grow followers. So if that's the case, put your details down below if you would like me to consider your Instagram profile for a review when it comes to the business setup of it. Is your handle correct? Is your message correct? Is your link on your website correct? On your Instagram correct? All of the finer details, because this is super important as well. Thank you so much for watching. Here's my Instagram and Twitter if you'd like to see more. And until next time, guys and girls.